Welcome back, folks, to Let's Replay Albion. And when last we left off, we were still exploring the treasure cave, and I believe there is some loot pretty much right next to us. Let's have a look. That is a lot of rations. Pretty much enough rations that we could go and explore this entire place by resting every single time we face an encounter. We are missing 2 treasure chests worth of loot, I believe, as all the really good loot is hidden in treasure chests. We're going to go and have a look now. I think there was an exit that we could climb up that we're not going to, as we want to head further down and fill in the gaps in the areas we haven't been to yet, and fight many encounters that we haven't yet faced, although we faced this encounter most certainly. Something to note is that the critters, I believe, are completely self-contained within this dungeon complex. Also, a wonderful critical hit there pretty much secured us that victory. Let's deal with these enemies, and by victory I mean victory against that singular foe. There are plenty more foes for us to face here, although we only need to fight and defeat so many of them. We really need to get some critical hit training at some point. Also, that one is just dead. And some hits are being landed. That's what I was worried about. I was worried about a lot of hits being dealt to Reyna. Reyna has took a bit of a battering there, but that's nothing a lightning bolt can't handle. And a fireball just for good measure. We want to make sure that that critter there does not do anything. Does the frost crystal do the same thing? No, the frost crystal actually casts on the entire row, and we don't need that right now. There we go, we'll start the round here and make sure this one doesn't hit. I'm pretty sure this one hasn't really ever had a chance to hit us at all, which is exactly as I'd hope it would be. There we go! That one is dead and Reyna is now safe, and they're starting to run away. And trust me, I'm more than willing to let them flee. But this one is going to die. Goodbye, critters! See you later! And by later, I mean probably never. What is in here that was worth fighting that encounter for? I imagine there's going to be some sort of loot. Let's have a look in here, shall we? Just some gold? That's not great. I suppose it's alright, though. Anything else? There's maybe something around here? Anything? Ah, there's more stuff up here, though, we could go and find. Is there a Aha! There is. What's in here? A lot of stuff. Here is the Shadow Sword. The Shadow Sword is a really nice item. That is the cursed item I was referring to. It is most certainly a double-edged sword, both literally and figuratively. And here is the Ice Ring, a Protection 4 ring, which is something else we were looking for. There is also a Silver Torque here that provides protection +2, which isn't bad. There's also a small pile of potions that we can hold on to. Also, we really want to stop giving items to Dre now, because Dre is about to run out of carry capacity. And there's another rope, just in case we were running out of rope, which we aren't, because we have loads and loads of rope. Alright, 10 gold here. We're most certainly going to want to sell a lot of things when we get out of here. But unfortunately, we still need to find I really don't need those arrows. We're going to leave those arrows behind. We still need to find one more thing. We need to find one more particular item, which is a helmet, I believe. A really good helmet. Now, where's that hole in the ceiling that we want to navigate to? We've managed to pass it. There we go. One rope, and away up we go. We're not going to equip the Shadow Sword yet, because I'm still of 2 minds as to if I want to. But all the other items, including that Ice Ring, made it certainly worth going to get it. Alright, we haven't been here yet. I imagine here is literally, oh, there are enemies nearby. That's something I wasn't expecting. But then again, those enemies might very well be enemies that are in another part of the map. Where is that hole? There is the hole. Right. We'll go up here and see where this leads us. It leads us to here. That appears to be an area that has some somewhere to explore, that's for sure. Alright, we'll go back here, because we keep falling into these pits. This is an entirely optional area, and that's what I quite like about it. You don't ever have to come here. at all. It's completely optional, and you can find it quite by accident without ever being sold the map. You don't need to get the map at all to come here. What do we have here? Down into this area there is a way up, and up is... I was almost about to use a key there that would have been completely worthless to use. Up is leading to a small area. Ooh, not so small. It heads down here. And unfortunately, because of how small this area is, I fell down another pit. Really need to get used to doing that so that we don't fall down pits. Like that. There we go. Much better. It also means I can navigate easier as well. What is in here? Oh, there is another pit. And that's all you can pretty much do, so down the pit we go. This is an area that we've already been to, but I bet I haven't explored that part of trash. So we're going to explore that part of trash before we move on and backtrack back the way we came. Also, we haven't really explored down here either. There's probably a pit down there. Let's have a look. First, actually, I've gone completely too far. There is indeed a pit there that I haven't been in. It might be the pit I'm looking for. And there's just some gold in here. That's not so bad. We can take some gold. Andrea is finally carrying way too much. We'll pass off this red sword. I really should use those red swords. They have nice spells in them, but not much else. And here is an attack and a treasure chest, so I might have stumbled accidentally into the area that I want to go to. This area will be very nice to see indeed. Alright, we'll just... no critical hits there, unfortunately. And predictably, that one has moved straight up to where Raina is. I think a frost avalanche is needed here. Just generally to keep Raina safe. And we'll use a lot of firepower here to make sure that that one dies. Why not, eh? Maybe a fire rain here just to deal a lot of damage in that direction. Because every single spellcast of that will make it that little bit better. You may wonder when Thunag is going to get more spells. He will get more spells. We will get the opportunity to teach Thunag a lot of spells. Alright. There we go. Anything else? Well, pretty much everything else, because Syrah is just that fast. Here comes that fire rain. 13 damage now. Not bad. We'll have you do that. You might as well just attack. You have a lot of ammunition, don't you? You have about 100 ammunition. We might want to think about buying some more for that. But then again, we might want to switch over to the crystal throwing axe. It is a little less damage, but the economy of being able not to use ammunition is really, really good. Alright, what else do we want to do? We want to actually have you target someone else, like, say, that enemy. Because I think Malthus and Raina will be able to handle that one. That is, if Raina would hit, which unfortunately Raina didn't hit. I think we'll just have it go that way round instead. Better idea. And we'll have you do nothing. We need to save up a little bit of spell... Ah, they're running away. Excellent. We shall have you flee away. Brilliant. Is this what I'm looking for? It's locked, which is an encouraging sign. Let's see if we can get in. We can get in, we just need to try enough times. Failing that, we have tons of lockpicks. Absolutely tons. Which in reality are quite useless in a sense, because eventually... Ah, this is not what we wanted. That is a shame. I hope this will be the one that we were looking for, but we're not so fortunate. We'll find it, though. We'll definitely find it. Alright. Let's go and, we've switched party members, so that's a little bit darker. Let's have a look and see what else there is to find here. The answer is a resounding nothing. But I think we've nearly explored this whole area. We just need to find the place that we haven't yet been. And that's actually going to be a little more tricky than I'd anticipated. There's one more location we have not yet visited. And we've been here, and we went up there, I think. That was, where we'd previously come out. So if we go that way and around, we'll avoid all of that. And we've pretty much... There's this area here that we've not explored at all. If we can find a way into there, I think we might be able to find what we're looking for. But with all the pits up and pits down, this is where the difficulty lies in this location. Let's see. We went up here. There is an enemy. There are enemies somewhere. And there's also that dead guy. He is very dead, however. Okay, but back to here. And one of these we haven't yet been in. Let's have a look. Was it this one? Did we go down here? We haven't been down here yet. This is a new area, and it's full of critters. Not that many dangerous ones, though, this time round. Just a few. Also, you're holding some more of these potions, aren't you? Probably a good idea to have your Thunag and Sira drink a few of them, just to restore enough spell points that we can absolutely obliterate these enemies if we need to. Alright. I think we can quite capably say that these critter ones are doomed. Also, if we want to be economical with this ammunition, we could just have him use the crystal throwing axe for a while, but the bolt thrower actually improves his ability to deal his long range ability. If it improved his close range ability, I'd be very surprised. I think that'll do for now, though. There we go. These critter ones are actually being quite hardy this time round. There we go. We haven't seen them steal anything yet, which is on the one hand encouraging, and on the other hand a little worrying, because I don't know if they have that capability or if that's there just for fluff reasons. I think it's time to switch out the targets here to things a little more dangerous, and keep in mind that at any point that Critter 3 will go over to where Reyna is. I get the feeling that's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. And there is some more fire rain. 14 damage each, pretty good. Also, there were some nasty hits dealt there. Yeah, that one's definitely moving. It's definitely moving. We need to be careful of that. We need to be very careful of that. Let's see what we could do. We could use a fireball here, I suppose. We can use 16 of them. Why not? That's one dead. That's two dead. That one's still alive. They're moving away, but that one has moved over there. And that's what I was worried about. You move to there. And we'll have a lightning bolt, a lightning strike cast here, while Tom just deals with that one. You might as well attack. You might hit. You might hit. There we go. Large amount of damage there. That's that one taken care of, rather. Excellent. You're still alive, and you're all fleeing. I think it's safe enough to say that we can quite reliably wait. There we go. And that one's dead, and they're all running. Brilliant. Dra is now level 20. 4 attacks around. 4 attacks around. That is horrifying. That is absolutely horrifying. And here is a pile of 20 gold. 4 attacks. That is ridiculous. And this is why I tend to keep, we've actually been here. But we haven't been up this one yet, I don't think. Have we been up this one? Where does it lead to? An area with more enemies. So we're most certainly getting to places we haven't been before. This might be the long-winded route we need to take to get to that final important piece of treasure. And it is a very important final piece of treasure we need to go to. All this exploration will be worth it, if nothing else for the experience. Also, Reyna got to hit him, and there is a very, very long line of enemies there that we can most certainly take advantage of by using, say, a frost crystal here in a row, and then a fire rain should do the trick. And we really want that one to be dead. Like, we really want that one to be dead. Maybe it's time for Reyna to drink a healing potion, because we don't want Reyna to die here. That would be unfortunate, if only because the amount of experience he'll gain would be much, much smaller. Or non-existent because he'd be unconscious. There we go, you try deal with that one, and I think that's not a bad thing to do at all. We'll use this spell. We haven't used this spell that much, so using it a little more might not be so bad. The amount of damage it deals is ridiculously small. That just shows how little we've used it. But it's more spell economical than the Frost Avalanche. And those Critter 3s won't be getting close anyway. Or maybe they will because that one has just died and they'll be able to move up. 1, 2, and 3. Are you going to move? They are going to move, but only slowly. Maybe if we can kill enough of them, they'll be wary of getting too close to us and will just die horribly. Or run away. There's one dealt with. That one's still alive. Another fire rain there. Didn't deal with the others, but they're pretty weak now. Oh dear. Oh dear, they're all pretty much right next to everyone. I think it's time to get another one of those potions drunk and for Syrah to deal with a frost avalanche. Certainly getting a lot of experience now with that frost avalanche. I think it's time to change focus on those attacks too. Let's have you attack that one. And you can't use anything without running out of using your life points, so good idea, I think. There we go! Indeed, that spell does get a lot of use later. A lot of use. That one is just dead. That one is still alive, and I did target a few attacks there, which is unfortunate. It is unfortunate. Yep, there was one attack that went that way completely ineffectually. And we'll have you just attack this one, because I'm pretty sure that one's going to die horribly from some ranged attacks. There we go! Hopefully they're going to start running away now. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. We're actually going to use some life points to ensure that we keep people from dying. It did cost some life points, but it is worth it to make sure Raina doesn't get hit by that critter. Are they running away? They're running away, which is good. We might as well just leave them to flee. Also, you're still frozen. You are still frozen. We might as well move people up to try and deal with you. There we go. You're no longer frozen. Let's see if you can survive, shall we? The answer is no. No, you could not. Malthus is now level 18. Thunag is now level 40. There are more critters. There are more critters right here. I get the feeling I might be getting very close to some very, very nice loot. Either that, or I found where they live and there is a limited supply of them. I really hope that's not the case. I really hope that's not the case. Alright. Let's go. More critters! More critters than you can shake a stick at, even though we don't have a stick, although we did have the chance to get a lot of rocks. Here come the critter 2s. And the critter 3 is very slowly moving up, and I mean very slowly. That should deal with that one, and this should deal with these ones. We'll just have a nice focus of attacks here. 4 attacks around though, Tra. It's just ridiculous. It's a lot of damage. That said, the boss encounters do start to have a lot of health to counter that. You're very slowly moving up. I'd really rather you didn't. I'd really rather you didn't. That one's dead. That's good. That one is not dead yet. It's now dead. And that one's still moving up. That one's right next to Raina. Right. Time to give you some more potions, Syrah. It's time for you to get a spell cast. Is that enough mana? Just enough mana. Brilliant. And we'll have you move there, and you attack there. There we go. I know it's basically a reactive thing, and they're likely to be running away now. Yeah, they're likely to be running away now anyway, but there might be the chance that they won't. That is a lot of attacks. It's just a lot of attacks. 148 experience, and there is a pit. Basically right ahead of us. We'll move away from that. Anything else here? Treasure? Ah, treasure. Is this what I was looking for? No, this is a light staff. That's really not what I was looking for at all. It's a kind of torch. That's a little disappointing. I was kind of hoping there might be a bit more than that here, but there is a way up that we can go to. That we probably haven't been to. No, we have not been here yet. Is there anything down here? I think there might be. I hope there is. There are more critters here. That's not good. How many more critters? Not very many, which is fine. There might be more, though. There might be more around the corner or down another pit. Who can say? All we can say is that collar that Malthus got meant that he's pretty much a walking spell arsenal of doom. Excellent. That's a few dealt with. It's a lot of experience, though. We could have got a different companion instead of going here with Reyna, but it's actually worth getting all of the loot now. Nice critical hit there. Oh, and they're running away. Excellent. Goodbye, and see you never. What is down here that was worth? There's a lot of dead people here. And there's a pile of loot here. What's in here? Food. Well, food is important. Let's go this way and see what else we can find. There's another hole that we can go down. Can we rest, though? Good idea. Let's rest. A lot more spell points. What's down here? More critters and another treasure chest. Is this going to be the one that I'm looking for? You know, I've said that every single time, and I'm hopeful every time that that's the case. Also, these enemies are very slow, I'm only just realising. They are so slow that they barely deal any... They actually barely get any moves in before everyone else is gone. Also, 20 fireballs. That's a lot of fireballs. And with each fireball dealing 16 damage, that is 320 points of damage at full mana. Also, it is now time to use a Frost Crystal, I think. There's no reason to use a Frost Avalanche right now, because that one is not there, and will not be there, actually, for quite a while. I'll have you attack... Actually, what am I doing there? I want you to use the Frost Crystal. I do not want to accidentally make a mistake and have one of those Critter 3s attack. That would be bad. Also, another one of those might be good, and a Fireball there. There we go. I mean, Reyna right now can only use range attacks, and it's not so bad, but when we have a full party like this, it's, his attacks are not as good when we have Syrah, who can basically do nearly everything except fight on the front lines. Excellent, that's a lot of damage with that now. And you moved backwards. That might have been, and I think in fact is, a terrible mistake. Also use that again. That was my fault, I didn't mean to, then again it does freeze all of them, so, that's not bad. There we go. Excellent. Unintended positive side effects. That one is dead. That one is still alive. Most of these might be dead soon. Maybe. And you moved up. We'll deal with you. Oh, don't worry. We'll deal with you. Alright, we'll have you not do that now. Actually, you could do that. No, it's not worth you doing that. A fireball might be better, though. A fireball might be better. That wasn't so good. That was not so great. That one is still alive. That one's still alive. That one's dead. And now they're running away. Excellent. Didn't want that one to hit. I don't know if a Critter 3's actually ever attacked. And Reyna is now level 19. And Syrah is now level 21. Is this the one I want? No, it is not. The game is taunting me by presenting all of these treasure chests that, I can't get the item I want in. But maybe... Actually, I was about to say, but maybe we found the one we want. No. No, we haven't. We really haven't found the one that we want, because this basically leads to a dead end. And that is unfortunate. And there was only one way that we could go out here, so we need to do a bit more backtracking. We need to really find an area that we haven't been to yet. That's an open one. We've pretty much found everything on this level. This is the top level. So we need to go and find an area that we haven't been on one of the lower levels. We need to find this final item. This item is the item I'm looking for, very specifically. Very specifically. So let's go and find it, shall we? Down here is this area that pretty much we've already explored all of this too. And that is a pit down. We want to find where we want to go, and that one indeed we've already looked in, just had a very disappointing light staff in it. This area, there's a whole area over to the left there that we haven't yet been to. Now if we go up, is there a way over there? There's a way up, there's not a way down, unless that is the way down. No, that's really not the way down. But we have to head up to go down anyway. So we'll head this way now. We need to find a way to that item that I want. We're almost at the entrance. which is not so great. But there is a pit down here to the west. There's this pit that leads to here, and then that pit down here that goes down to this area that we've been to. And we've already been down to this area completely. Now, where haven't we been? We haven't been further down, but then again we want to go up to go down. There we go. We really want to find this final thing. I really need to go and find it. This is the part where you know there's something in a dungeon and you just haven't uncovered it and you're desperately trying to find it. This is it. We have had a lot of levels here. We have had a lot of experience gained here too. And this leads to that area that basically takes us back up. There's many open chests here because we've already had a look in them. And then there was up here, I think, was it? No, we're a little bit, we need to go further along, and then find this hole in the ceiling here. And that brings us to here, which just leads us to more ways up. We really need to find that. This is where the, that is where that gem place was, wasn't it? It really is. You know what? I'll be back in just a moment, folks, as when we come back, I will have found at least where to go to get to this item. Because we found lots of really nice things, but I really want to find this item now. And I don't remember where it is whatsoever. So I'm going to work my way back to the entrance, and then we're going to, or at least get as close to the entrance as I can, and then we're going to see about finding that final treasure chest. And trust me, it's most certainly worth finding. Also, all of these things hanging from the ceiling are making finding this entrance really, really tricky. I mean, we're basically looking at it and we can't see it. Where is it? It's over here somewhere. There it is! Aha! Found it at last. And so, I'll be back in just one moment. I have returned, and I think I may have figured out where we need to go. We're in an area that we've already been to. This treasure chest, I believe, had the green healing potions and a few of the spell restoring potions. And there's this area here that I don't actually remember going into. So I think it's time to go up there and see if we can find anything that we've missed. And the very fact that the game is telling me there are enemies here is informing me that we have indeed missed something around here. There they are, hello! Not surprisingly, it's critters that we're going to be fighting, and we most certainly want to deal with them as quickly as we can, because this item that we're going to find here is most certainly worth the effort of going to these lengths to get. There are very few items at this point that I would actually say are definitely some of the best items that we can find. This item that we're looking for is one of those items. Also, that just sheer devastation that we've managed to enact against those critters is quite formidable indeed. I think a frost crystal might be good here. Actually, no, I think a frost splinter might be better. Then again, it's all experience for frost crystal in the end, so we'll just do that. We'll want that there, and we might as well have you attack this, and watch as this Critter 3 gets absolutely devastated by Tom and Drur. Those 4 attacks combined with Tom's 2 makes 6 attacks against that Critter, and the Frost spell. I think it's safe to say that this Critter is not going to survive for very long. Let's see. No, actually, the Critter did survive, and there's a lot of enemies there for Thunag to get with the fire rain, so we'll leave that as it is. I think that enemy's going to be pretty dead though, so we'll change our focus there. And I'm actually tempted to change our focus there too, because I think, also didn't mean to cast that again, but it's still a useful thing. Also, already it's starting to deal a bit more damage. It's dealing 3 now as opposed to 1. And that 3 damage, unfortunately, was not capable enough to defeat that critter. But that critter is now very dead. And that critter isn't dead, but might be soon, because that is now 20 damage from Fire Rain. That is really impressive. I think I'm going to hold off on attacking right now with that. And we're just going to deal some damage like this. There we go. Not bad. That one's dead. That one's not dead yet, and they are running away. So we'll just let them flee, and I think we finally might have found the items that we're looking for. There is a closed treasure chest here, I think the very last one that we have yet to discover, and it most certainly is one that is worth getting. It's worth searching for, and it's locked, because it has really, really good stuff in it. Let's open it up and see what we can find, and if memory serves, yes, the Luke's Hand Helmet. How good is it? 20 protection, and that is in fact not all that it bestows. 20 protection is just the start. Also, that is way too many rations for Reyna to be holding on to right now. Way too many! What else does it confer? We're about to check. Okay, we'll have Drub even leader again. We'll have a look at Reyna's attributes here, and just equip this. You'll notice that his luck shot up there from 15 all the way up to 50. This helmet confers plus a lot, plus 35 luck. That is a lot. Luck is a really good stat, and it was certainly worth going to get it, because even compared to Tom's helmet, that only confers 15 protection. And the best part about this helmet is it can pretty much be equipped by absolutely everyone. It was worth doing that exploration. It was worth all the searching. It was worth all the backtracking and looking around, because it is a absolutely fantastic helmet. Absolutely fantastic. We'll just go down here now and work our way out. After successfully pretty much clearing everything that we want to out of these treasure caves. Because these treasure caves are brilliant, and most certainly worth exploring. Let's find our way out now. The best way to do that is just to head up. Eventually we'll find one of the exits. Is it this way we want to go? I think so. Let's have a look. There's that exit that's somewhere up there. I think we want to head down now. Eventually we will find our way out. If anything, finding our way out is much easier than... Also, we can manipulate that chest all the way from over there. That's quite nifty. I think this way leads to one of the exits. Alright, let's have a look. Use item, use rope, and we are pretty much there now. Let's have a look. Yep, the exit is right over there. We could use the alternate exit, there's really not much reason to. We'll be going back to that exit at some point. Alright, through here, and finally, we are out of the treasure cave. It was certainly worth exploring. Also, nobody in the party is tired. We'll have to go and sell all the stuff that we have got that we most certainly don't want, because there's a lot of things that we got that were nice, and a lot of other things that we can make do without and sell. Also, this ice ring, a really good ring indeed. But when we come back, folks, we'll go and sell a few things, and then we'll go back to Shrimalinar, because that's where the plot dictates that we need to go. We have a conflict between the Iskai and the Celts to stop, and I'm sure nobody'll mind our little diversion. After all, they didn't know we were here, did they? I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.